Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm doing another video. Now obviously in the last video it was a big one. We were talking about the announcement of the Next Step Season 10, which was not unexpected because we knew it was coming, but the timing was unexpected in some ways. I didn't expect it to be as soon, but I knew it would be coming up. So it was really interesting to kind of look at what we've been given and kind of analyse it and dive into it. But this video is really a chance for me to highlight certain points of that trailer and basically go and have a look at some things which I think are going to happen in the Next Step Season 10. I've got a long list of stuff. I don't know if this is going to be everything that I think. I might come up with other ones over the next few weeks. So if I need to, I'll make a second theories video. But as of now, this is like the official Next Step Season 10 theory video. And this is going to be like the last theory video maybe ever for the Next Step, which is crazy. Because obviously, if you didn't know, the Next Step Season 10 is being shown as the last season. Obviously, we don't know what could happen like 5 years down the line, but at this point in time, the Next Step Season 10 will be the final season of the Next Step ever, which is crazy. But to start off this video, I wanted to read you the official synopsis of season 10, because we have got a statement which was released by Boat Rocker, I think, which is the company who I think what do? They do something with the Next Step. Anyway, they said that in season 10, A Troop are now internationals champions and are on top of the world. New co-owners of the Next Step, Eldon and Michelle, are gearing up to defend their titles at regionals. But when Absolute Dance changes the rules, A Troop's internationals win no longer guarantees them a spot, and they must re-qualify for regionals. When it's revealed the studio is also struggling financially, A Troop must focus only on regionals to keep the studio alive. Can they rally together to defend their legacy and save the studio, or will the lure of other distractions tear the gang apart? So as you can see, the plot supposedly is that we're going back to regionals is this the fourth time now? Yeah, the fourth time. So it looks like they will be going down the regionals, nationals, internationals route potentially. But as you're going to see in my theory video coming up, I don't know whether they will. This might just kind of be the start of the season, and in part 2 of season 10 we might go in a different direction, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But anyway, on to the theories. So I have a photo which the Next Step Latin America shared of the Next Step season 10 opening dance, supposedly. I don't know, it could be any of the dances, but my guess is that it's the opening dance, and we can see Michelle and Eldon dancing with the team, which is really, really cool, because we kind of had it in season 4 when Riley did the group dance, but at that point she wasn't studio head. So it's just really interesting to see the studio owners / studio head / choreographers dancing with the team. It's something that hasn't really been done, so it's just really cool to see that. And I feel like it would be a good chance for the talking heads to kind of explain how they bought the studio, what led to that decision, where's Nick, just kind of filling in some plot holes about what's been going on, because I do think there's going to be a time jump. I think the most the time jump will be is 6 months, but the least will be 3 months. I can't seeing it being it's been 2 weeks since we won internationals, because obviously we've had to have had an entire studio being bought and all that paperwork and all of those decisions being made. So I feel like we are going to have a time jump, not as crazy as the 1 year one that we had between 7 and 8, but I think we will have a significant-ish time jump. I think the shortest time jump we've had is 9 months, and I don't think it'll be that long, but I do think about 6 months would probably make sense. So it'll be interesting to see if they do go down that time jump route and kind of what will happen with that. So after the Next Step won internationals in season 3, they had a big open house in season 4, which kind of brought in the new characters, introduced them to the old ones, and there was kind of like a big party to celebrate. And I feel like we're going to have a similar situation, but not necessarily the open house, because as far as I'm aware, we're not having a new load of people come in. So I feel like there'll be some sort of party to celebrate internationals, because it's a huge thing for the Next Step to have done. So I feel like it would make sense if there was a party, or there was a gathering, or there was even just a big dance to celebrate it. So I wouldn't be surprised if the internationals trophy's in the middle of the studio and everybody's dancing around it. That would be really cool. As I was just saying, as far as I'm aware, there aren't going to be any auditions for this A Troop. I think we're just going to be kind of having the same people as we had in the late part of season 8 and season 9. I feel like we're going to have a very similar team, which is good because I feel like we've really got to know our A Troop dancers, and I just think it would be a shame to bring in a whole new load of people if it's the last season. It would just be great to work with the people we've got and to kind of watch their journeys come to an end, because obviously if the show's ending, I feel like they're going to be wrapping up a lot of the storylines, including like the characters and what comes next for them. So maybe it's kind of the ending maybe is the next generation of A Troop. Maybe that's the way it ends, and that they all leave and go and pursue professional careers, and then a new lot comes in. So like in the back of our minds, the next step's continuing. Maybe that is the ending. That would be quite nice actually, if we kind of ended with a new generation, and then we can all make up in our own minds what comes next. So some people who I think are leaving or have left in this season are both Ebby and Adele. So obviously we know that Sheriana, who plays Adele on The Next Step, competed in the Paris Olympics, so she wouldn't have been around to film the majority of season 10. So I think it's pretty likely that she will be in it at some point, but she will have to leave. So I think Adele as the character will leave. And Ebby hasn't been seen yet, so I feel like Ebby won't be in it. Solely because we've just not seen her in the trailer, and she hasn't really posted anything, so I feel like she's not in it either. So those are two spots that are open for someone to fill. So some people who I feel like will fill them. Number one, we need to talk about Pascal, because Pascal and Heath obviously have this romantic thing going on, and Pascal lives in France. She's on Team France. But then there is, I think she's in the opening dance because there's a photo of like her dancing. So either she joins A Troop or she's just there temporarily. But it would be nice to see her join A Troop. I feel like that would be a great fit for her. But there would have to be a whole thing explained about how she's moved to like another country, because obviously she can't dance there if she lives in France. That just wouldn't make sense. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And if Pascal does join, because I feel like there might be a bit of drama with that, because I also think Daisy might be coming back, because I'm pretty sure in the trailer you can see Daisy stood with like some of the OGs. So I think if Daisy comes back, I feel like her and Heath, although they were friends, there was something there. And it would be interesting to see Daisy's take on Pascal and Heath being together. So yeah, potentially Pascal will replace one of them, potentially Daisy. And the final person that could replace them, there's this, I can't remember his name, but there's this new guy who has been in a lot of photos with the cast, and I don't know his name yet. I think it is somewhere what he's called, but I can't quite remember right now. So is it Tyler? I don't remember. If you know his name, comment it. It's the guy who's like in the blue t-shirt in the trailer. I think he will be a significant character, or he'll join A Troop, because he is like in a lot of the scenes and he has been seen with a lot of the cast members. So I feel like one of those three people, two of those three people are going to be replacing two of the dancers who are leaving. So talking about the competition of season 10, because stereotypically we will have a competition each season. Season 5 is an exception. I just don't see regionals happening, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like regionals is the start of a new era. Obviously, Generation 1 started at regionals and finished at internationals. Generation 2 started at regionals and finished with the show. And Generation 3 are a little exception. They started at nationals. But I feel like regionals is a new slate. It's a new era. It's a new kind of generation of the next step. And I feel like if we're starting with regionals again, it kind of gives that vibe it's going to carry on. And if this is the last season, I think they won't do regionals, because it just doesn't make sense in my head why they would go back. The only reason I feel like they would go is because if they do regionals and they win, then nationals and internationals supposedly will happen still. And although we might not physically see that because the next step's not continuing, it would still be interesting to have like that thought in our heads that like in that universe the next step's still going. So I feel like I can see why they would, but I think in terms of the show's structure, I don't think they will, if that makes sense. I don't think we're going to get regionals. I don't think we're going to get any competition. I don't think we're going to have... I think the major part of the season will be the reunion. I think that's going to be the wow moment, not necessarily a competition. But I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I don't see them doing a competition in season 10. But then also it is the last season, so I feel like they will. It's all to play for, but right now I can't really see them going to regionals anyway. So the studio is struggling financially, which was said in that statement. Obviously, they've just won internationals, so whatever reason they're struggling financially will I think be because either of Maria, although she's like been cancelled, I think Maria will have something to do with it, or Lucian, because obviously Lucian is returning in season 10. So I feel like they would have done something, like maybe they've given the next step bad press, or it's a similar situation to where Lucian's trying to like buy into the studio. There's going to be something going on there, like because they've just won internationals. They're very marketable as a studio, so I don't see why they would be like in a bad situation. So it'll be interesting to see how that arises and how they get to that position. But my theory is that someone's going to interfere, and maybe it's Miss Angela. I know that she's like good now, but you never know. It would be great to see her back. Michelle and Eldon, obviously they finished season 9 holding hands, and it was very hinted to that they were going to get together. I think they're going to get together because I think it's just almost like rounding it off. Season 1, obviously they got to know each other. Season 2 they were together, but they did break up. But I think some of us have been rooting for Michelle and Eldon. Like I mean, I don't know. I think I am a Michelle and Eldon supporter. I don't know. I wasn't really in season 9, but seeing like even that one scene of them in the trailer together, I do see it. So I am officially announcing I'm a Michelle and Eldon supporter. I honestly can see it, and I would love to see them together. That'd be really, really interesting. And also, like, I don't know, it's just like a hint to season 1, and I think season 10 is going to be full of hints to the original seasons, because I think season 10 is going to be the season for all of us, obviously, who grew up with the show. I think it's going to be that we're probably going to cry every episode. That is the vibe I'm getting. So Michelle and Eldon getting together is definitely going to set me off. So I feel like that would probably be a good idea if they're going for the whole nostalgic theme in season 10. So talking about nostalgia and talking about season 1, if this happens, it's going to be an interesting reaction video, but I would love for Michelle and Eldon to recreate Inside Out. I feel like that would be a really, really nice thing for them to do. Simply because I think, obviously, like I said, we grew up with the show. Inside Out, still to this day, is a song which will make me emotional, and I will always think of Michelle and Eldon, and I don't think they've reused that song. Yeah, I don't think they have. So if they did Inside Out, that would be almost like a big tick from me. I'd be very happy. So it'd be interesting to see them perform that, especially because the last time they did it together, they were like getting to know each other romantically. And if they are together now, it'd be really cool to kind of, I don't know, it would be a nice like circle moment. I feel like it would be good. Sticking with couples, I think we're going to get a lot of Kenzie and Pete's content. I think they will be a couple which will go through to the end of the show. I don't think they'll break up. I think they will stay together, and I'd like them to, because I really like Kenzie and Pete together. I think they really balance each other. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about Kenzie and Pete, but I would love to see them together and kind of finish the show together. That'd be great. So this artistic grant thing that they've got, so obviously Eldon says in the trailer, our artistic grant has been taken away. I think in my last video I called it a license, but it's a grant which I think has been awarded to them because they're struggling financially. So whatever this grant is, wherever they got it from, has now withdrawn that. And I think that's going to have to be something to do with Lucian. I don't know. I know I'm kind of blaming this whole thing on him, but it's him. He wants to destroy the next step. So yeah, I think this grant, he's interfered somewhere. Or like Eldon, maybe, I don't know, I don't really know, but my theory is that someone's interfering with it, someone's interfering with the studio, and it's just all not going to end well. That is my personal opinion on this whole situation. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this bit too much because I want to do a whole video on my theories for this. The reunion obviously is happening, which I have now had time to think about it, and if some of you have been following me on TikTok, you will probably know my views. It's an emotional thing for us all who have waited for this reunion for a long, long time. And oh yeah, also like one of my TikToks about the next step went insane. Like I can't even remember. It was a lot of views. So thank you to everyone who's been like watching my content there. Then when I do my next step TikToks, I literally am just like sat in bed and then I come up with this idea and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do it, and then I just post it. Some of them are great, some of them aren't, but like I'm glad people are liking them. I don't know, I find it really fun to make content for YouTube and TikTok, so I'm gonna keep doing that, especially because season 10's the last season. I'm gonna make sure I can film as much as possible for this. Anyway, back to the reunion. I think there's going to be a similar reunion to the season 5 dance-a-thon. I think that's how you say it, the dance-a-thon thing. It would be really cool to kind of see them all coming back, dancing with each other, hyping each other up, bringing the generations together, like people getting emotional. I don't know. It'll be really, really nice to see that. What is my computer doing? There we go. So yeah, I could see that happening. I don't really see it being like how it was in the dance-a-thon in season 5, but I do see it kind of being that reunion feel, the balloons, the like decorations. That's how I picture it to be. I think it's going to kind of be a big party. So I think the reunion could be a celebration of the next step. It could be its 35th birthday, because obviously when was it? The Christmas episode, it was the 30th birthday, but now I've just remembered we had a time jump. It could be a birthday for the next step, because it has been nearly 6 years. No, it's nearly been 5 years in our like world since the Christmas episode was aired, I think. Was it? Yeah, it was 2019 in December. Yeah, so it's only been 5 years. So it would be really cool to see everybody back together to celebrate a birthday. What is this way? Apparently I've written something else. To celebrate internationals, or they could be having a party to celebrate internationals. Either one, I'll be happy, but I don't know. I kind of like the idea that they're all coming back to wish the next step happy birthday. Okay, I've got 2 more theories for this video. This one is about Miss Kate giving her blessing to Michelle and Eldon for buying the studio, because obviously we had Miss Kate, then Nick, and then now Michelle and Eldon. So I think it would be cool if Miss Kate was like, when you walked into Studio A, I knew you were gonna continue our legacy. I don't know. My accents are bad, we all know that. But I don't know. It would just be cool if she like says that she always knew Michelle was special, or like Eldon, like he's been there since he like was 5. Something like that would be amazing, just to see Miss Kate kind of give her blessing. And talking of blessings, I want Emily to confront Michelle, because like what, I don't know. I rewatched the season 7 off season last night, and Michelle literally says to Emily, like, buying a studio is your dream, it's not mine. And yeah, Michelle has like literally bought it. I think Emily's probably going to be fuming about it, unless Emily's like, my dream's changed. But I want Michelle and Emily to have, even if it's not talked about, I want Michelle and Emily to have a scene together, because obviously, in my opinion, they're like the best duo on the show. So it'll be really cool to see those two kind of have a moment together, even if it's just like an emotional, you like took my dream, and then Michelle's like, I'm sorry, and maybe Emily can buy her way in. I don't know, that'd be cool. But yeah, I feel like Michelle and Emily need to talk, but we'll see. We'll know what happens like in a year. Well, not even a year. We'll know what happens, I reckon, in about 6 months. I don't reckon it's going to be too long. Anyway, those are my theories on the next step season 10 and what I think is going to happen. I've already thought of some more since I've been like reading this, so I will probably do a part 2. If not, I will just bring them up in random videos. But thank you so much for watching. Get excited, season 10 is on its way. Let me know your thoughts and theories on the next step season 10. I might do a video where I react to your theories, so if I do that, I'll do like a little community tab post and you can comment them there. But let me know your thoughts, and I will see you very, very soon for another video. Bye guys.